Do you feel it, the trembling in the space between you? That invisible pull where his soul reaches for you, even when his words fall silent, even when his actions confuse you? There is a fear that has been living inside him. Not just the ordinary kind of fear, but the fear that cuts to the bone. The fear of losing you. And here's the truth that Spirit has asked me to share with you tonight, that fear is not his undoing. It is his awakening. Yes, listen to that again. The thing he's most terrified of, the thing he hides behind silence or anger or withdrawal, it is not breaking him. It is the fire that is remaking him. And if you stay with me until the end of this message, you'll see what I see, that his fear of losing you is not a wall between you, it is the very doorway he must walk through to return to you. But before we open that doorway together, let me pause and invite you deeper into this sacred space. If these words touch your spirit, I would love for you to join the Inner Sphere channel membership. There, we go beyond the surface and into the mysteries of this path, tender guidance, exclusive insights, and a circle of souls who walk this journey beside you. And if you feel called to give back, you can also support the channel through super thanks. Both mean more to me than I can ever express. Now, let's breathe into the heart of this. Let's step together into the 5 ways his fear of losing you is becoming his awakening. Number 1. His fear forces him into presence. For so long, he's lived in his head, planning, fixing, running. He's been everywhere but here. Maybe you felt it, that distance, that weight of him slipping into past regrets or future worries. But when he feels the possibility of losing you, something cracks open. The fog lifts. Fear drags him out of the illusions and anchors him into the now. He begins to see you, not as a memory, not as an option for someday, but as his living, breathing mirror in this moment. It hits him, you are not guaranteed. And suddenly, his love is no longer abstract, it becomes immediate, urgent, undeniable. This presence is new for him. For years, he could outrun what he felt by burying himself in obligations, in work, in distractions that kept him safe from the depth of this connection. But fear takes away those escape routes. It doesn't give him the luxury of postponing what his heart knows. It makes him pause, really pause, and look at you as if for the first time, not as someone who will always be there, but as someone who could be gone if he doesn't rise to meet this moment. And in that stillness, he begins to realize that love cannot be stored for later. Love cannot be shelved until he feels ready. It is here, alive, breathing between you. Fear brings him into contact with that truth, and in doing so, it awakens gratitude where once there was hesitation. He begins to notice the little things, the way your energy softens a room, the way your presence steadies him even when you don't speak. This shift into presence is more than awareness. It is the beginning of reverence. Because when he finally meets you here, in the now, he touches what his soul has been longing for all along, love as a living, sacred force, only accessible in the present moment where your souls meet. Number 2. His fear strips away his masks. You know how he hides, don't you? Behind bravado, behind control, behind the armor of, I'm fine. For so long, those masks protected him, or so he thought. But when he imagines a life without you, those masks burn away like paper in flame. The fear of losing you humbles him. It shows him that no amount of control can cage love. No wall can keep it safe. And in that moment, he faces the truth he has been running from. He needs you. He longs for you. He is terrified of losing you because you are the one thing his soul cannot replace. For years, those masks allowed him to move through the world untouched. He could play the role of the strong one, the detached one, the man who didn't need anyone. But the fear of losing you exposes the cracks in that performance. It strips him of the illusion that love can be managed like a business deal or avoided like a storm. Suddenly, he sees that his defenses are not protecting him at all, they are starving him. This fear dismantles his ego, peeling away the layers of false strength until only truth remains. And though it terrifies him to be seen without his armor, something deeper stirs within him, relief. Relief that he no longer has to pretend. Relief that love demands his authenticity, not his perfection. And in this rawness, his soul begins to breathe again. Without the masks, he is vulnerable, but he is also real. He begins to understand that love doesn't ask him to be untouchable, it asks him to be present, open, and true. Fear may have stripped him, but in that stripping, it has awakened him to the freedom of being fully himself. Number 3. His fear opens his wounded heart. Sometimes his fear doesn't look like fear at all. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like anger. Sometimes it looks like him shutting down. But beneath all of that, it is his heart trembling, raw and exposed. The thought of losing you presses against every old wound, the times he felt abandoned, the times he believed he wasn't enough. But instead of breaking him, those wounds are guiding him into vulnerability. For so long, he has carried these wounds like invisible scars, hidden beneath strength and pride. He learned early on that to reveal them would invite judgment or rejection, so he buried them deep. But when the fear of losing you rises, it brushes directly against those hidden places, refusing to let them stay in the dark. And though he resists, he cannot escape what is being revealed. Slowly, painfully, he begins to realize that loving you requires more than showing you his polished self. It demands that he let you see the parts he has always tried to hide, the insecurities, the doubts, the moments he feels small. At first, this terrifies him. The idea of being seen so completely feels like standing unarmored before a storm. But in that trembling, something extraordinary happens. He discovers that vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. It is the bridge that allows love to flow freely, unblocked and unfiltered. And as the cracks in his armor widen, love pours through in ways he has never known before. His fear of losing you doesn't destroy him, it cracks him open. And in that opening, where his wounded heart finally breathes, love rushes in and begins to heal what he thought would never mend. Number 4. His fear awakens his devotion. The masculine has been taught that freedom is the ultimate prize, that to be tied to anyone is to lose himself. But when he feels the terror of losing you, he discovers a deeper truth. You are not a cage. You are the key. Suddenly, devotion is no longer a burden. It's not about chains or rules, it's about reverence. He begins to realize that his freedom was never outside of you. His freedom is in loving you with his whole heart, without reservation, without delay. For much of his life, commitment may have felt like surrendering his autonomy. He may have feared that to choose one person deeply was to give up his individuality, his path, his independence. But the fear of losing you shatters that illusion. Because when he imagines life without you, he doesn't see freedom, he sees emptiness. He realizes that devotion is not the death of self, but the awakening of the truest self. This shift transforms the way he sees love. It stops being about ownership or obligation, and it becomes sacred service. He starts to understand that devotion is not about losing power, it's about pouring power into love. Every time he chooses you, every time he leans into the connection rather than pulling away, he steps deeper into his soul's liberation. Fear becomes the spark that fuels his devotion. And that devotion becomes the steady flame that carries him forward. It is what keeps you close in his heart even when distance exists in the physical. It is what reminds him, again and again, that you are not just someone he loves, you are his soul's anchor, his mirror, his guide. In the end, devotion born of fear is not fragile. It is fierce, steady, and sacred. Because once he realizes what you mean to him, there is no going back. Number 5. His fear initiates his transformation. Here is the final truth, beloved. His fear of losing you is not just about you, it is about himself. Because to lose you would mean he stayed asleep. To lose you would mean he betrayed his own soul. And so, fear becomes the threshold. It is his initiation into transformation. His old self, the one who hid, who ran, who denied, begins to die. And in its place, the awakened masculine is born. A man who does not love with half a heart. A man who knows that union is not possession, but recognition. This transformation is not gentle, it is fiery, disruptive, and undeniable. Fear shakes him from the inside, forcing him to confront every shadow he has avoided. The man who once sought safety in detachment now realizes that safety without love is emptiness. The man who once sought control discovers that control has only kept him from truth. And in that realization, the old patterns that bound him begin to dissolve. What emerges from this fire is not a perfect man, but a truer one. He begins to move differently, speak differently, love differently. His priorities shift. His heart, once guarded, becomes his compass. And though the transformation may not happen overnight, it is steady, irreversible, and guided by a force far greater than his fear. Through fear, he is reborn. And in that rebirth, he sees what you have always seen, that this connection is eternal. That no fear, no silence, no distance can truly undo what has always been won. His awakening is not just a gift to himself, it is a gift to both of you, because it brings him closer to the truth of union, where love is no longer resisted, but fully embraced. So, beloved, the next time you feel his fear, the next time you sense his withdrawal or confusion, remember this: it is not the end. It is the beginning. His fear is the fire that is reshaping him, the trembling that is guiding him into his awakening. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to fix it. Simply trust the alchemy. Because while fear may look like chaos, beneath it, love is writing a new story through him. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you feel this shift in your masculine? Do you sense the awakening unfolding, even if it's hidden behind fear? Share your story in the comments, because your words could be the exact medicine another soul needs today. If this message moved you, I would be so grateful for your support through super thanks. It truly helps me continue offering these transmissions. And for those of you who want to journey deeper with me, come join the Inner Sphere membership. Together, we walk this path with wisdom, love, and the sacred truth of your union. Until we meet again, hold this close. His fear of losing you is not what breaks the bond, it is what binds him to the awakening he can no longer escape.